Hello guys, how are you? I hope you're having a beautiful week, an easy one. Just to let you know that I have a question to you. If have you ever heard about autonomic nerve system or automatic nerve system or sympathetic system? So sympathetic and autonomic or automic nerve system is the system that regulates our heartbeat. It regulates our digestive system. Also, it regulates our survival with stress, our survival responses for stress and for everything that goes outside of the normalcy that happens around us and around our system, our body. Let's say when we get a cold, this system is activated by itself. And let's say we don't recover from the cold, so then we need to use all the artifacts like medicine or a juice therapy, whatever it is, to rebuild this immune system. So this automatic system or autonomic system, which means that it has life itself, we don't need to do anything for it to happen, is a system that keep us actually existing, keep us alive. Now, this system can also become very, very hyperactivated if we have a history of trauma. If we have a history of trauma, let's say starting in our childhood, and we are exposed over and over and over again, we do develop or we can develop a diagnosis called CPTSD, as I have mentioned in another video. So when this system becomes hyperactive, dysregulated, our radar, our sense of self becomes very sensitive, and our radar becomes very sensitive to any stimulus out there. So everything that our radar is reading, it becomes, the message for us will be danger, risk, run, freeze, fly, fight, So for that system to become more regulated, we do need to engage in activities to rebuild our capacity, our resilience to deal with situations that we read as potential danger, when in the end of the day, that situation was not as dangerous as our automatic system or nerve system is reading. We, because of the body, has been exposed throughout of our lives. If we are a victim of a trauma or a ACE kid, adverse childhood experience, it's natural that the body will try to defend us. And the way that it tries to defend us is to exaggerate the ways that we perceive situations. That can be extremely harmful in relation to emotionally harmful for us in a long term. We can become very sensitive about, in interpersonal relationships. We can become very sensitive in relation to normal situations in our lives, in our routine. When, for example, it's just to go to a meeting or at your work or to meet friends, and any noise or anything that happens, it can hyperactivate this system and can make us feel unable to deal with the situation. So it's extremely important that we engage in activities that will increase our resilience and our capacity to deal with the situations. And most importantly is to look for therapy. Therapy will help you to identify these maladaptive responses from the body about situations that they can be normalized. And will also give you a psychoeducation of why your body is hyperactive, why your body is hyperly sensitive in relation to all these events. Remember that trauma is not only an event that happens or multiple events that happens to us, but is an experience that's developed within our body because of an event. Okay, so it's very experimental or experiential. So that is very important that we work in our body in the level of regulation, okay? It's not avoiding the event, it's actually regulating ourselves, okay? Some activities that we can be engaging to regulate self can be activities involving nature, because nature, when we are around, it helps us to lower the blood pressure, help us to breathe fresh air, help us to take some vitamin D from the sun. Activities with people that you feel good with, and people that are your friends, people that you love, that you feel safe with helps you to co-regulate your body. Is almost that person, we are going to be mirroring the behavior, the affect from that person. Do not do activities with people that makes you feel more distressed, in that you don't have a good intimate relationship with, because that can help you to actually dysregulate. Activities also that can regulate your system, where you feel more resilient, are, working out, yoga, meditation, power walk, or walking, with nature, activating your five senses, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you smell, and what you feel tactilely. That can be also a way to self-regulate. Listen to music, dancing, laughers. Laughers is very, very good for the brain and activates as dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, which is excellent for you to feel, for the body to feel safe. That is when we're activating the parasympathetic system, the system of regulation, okay? Remember that this system we can only regulate voluntarily, the parasympathetic one. The system that calls sympathetic or automatic nerve system is activated automatically, as the name says itself, to help us to survive things. So our long-term intention is to actually to build the natural balance of the body by, yes, not completely shutting ourselves down, about danger or discomfort, because that can be abusive to us if we are avoidant. It's just in a stream. And extremes are dysregulation too, or imbalance behaviors, right? Or maladaptive behaviors, or behaviors that we actually mask the issue. Let's say when we engage in drinking or smoking or using drugs or deliberate sex or overworking ourselves at our work, can be a sign of traumatic experiences, can be a sign of I'm trying to avoid my fears, or I'm trying to avoid, a traumatic events, or my sense of I'm losing control, which has to do with trauma, right? And then I overwork. I'm working long hours every day, all the time. That can be also a sign of avoidance. Exercising a lot can also be a sign of, a response and a sign to mask a traumatic experience or an event, okay? So we just need to be very mindful and attent if we are overdoing things, and ask oneself, where is coming from? When did I start, overworking? It was after a period of time that I felt that I had a trauma, or there was a traumatic event happen. Like grief also can become very traumatic for us, a violence or loss of a job. When we then engage in a new one, we try to produce and to show so much competency that we overwork ourselves. That can be a way. This can be a way to mask our fears. So the most important part of all this is actually to learn how to regulate oneself and to not overdo, because when we overdo, we are actually reinforcing that irrational thinking that if I don't do, I will lose, right? Or if I don't do, I will die, or I'm in danger, which is that automatic system that it gains strength and power. We don't want that. We want to build balance, okay? So a balanced life is a happy life, okay? I hope that this video made sense. I know it's a lot of content and a lot of information, but try to listen to it very slow. And so then you can absorb and rewatch until you absorb where I'm coming from. Okay, I hope it helped you with something in your life. I hope that you have a great day. I will talk to you very briefly. Okay, bye.